Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm looking at the Lemax witch's lair and a bit of info you can use to hopefully troubleshoot some things. First off, if your piece is not moving, the lightning doesn't work anymore, and the sound is not working, if all three of those are busted, most likely your computer chip is dead and the piece is toast. So if you're ever looking at trying to buy one on eBay or whatever, don't buy one where the witch doesn't go up and down and the sounds don't work and there's also a little lightning flash inside. If none of those are operational, then the main computer chip is dead and there's no hope of reviving it. At least none that I figured out. If you've somehow figured out how to revive it, I'd really like to know. I did buy this piece and I already pretty much knew the computer board would be dead anyway. The main reason why I bought it, though, is because this one was conditionally good. So it had all the little accessories and the little witch that flies around on the top and the little dealy bobs you can stick in. So that's why I bought it. But then I had to buy another one for cheap that was a bit smashed, didn't have the box, and the computer chip at least worked. What's interesting about this piece is it actually has plug-in connections, both of them. This one here is older, and the reason why I know this is you can look at the PCB and you can sort of tell the materials they use. It's darker and it has more redundant transistors and stuff, so this one just looks older to me. Also, an interesting thing is this is the house, the porcelain piece from the original one I bought that was conditionally good, but the computer board is fried. This is the new one I bought that the computer board was fine, but the house was a bit beat up. What I noticed is the older one has more plugs. So if you look at this one, it has 3 plugs all in a row here. One of them is for lightning, another one is for the LEDs, and then another one is for the motor that does the witch flying around and the clothes hanging up. So here's the motor for the clothes hanging up, and then here is the PCB for all the LED lighting, just like the outer lights. So if you look like, oh, it's not hooked up. I need to do some soldering work, but basically it's all the little pumpkins and the green lights, and you can see the lightning is working. So yeah, that's the status if the computer board, if it's something with the sound and stuff. Sometimes if the motor is working or if the lightning is working and the sound is broken, it's probably fixable, because then that means it's usually a volume control issue, which I have done videos on repairing. And you might want to check the wires because they're pretty thin, and these older ones, they're a bit easier to break. As far as like fixing the door, it's kind of hot glued on, and it's like I also did a video on the spooky castle, I think it's called. I forget off the top of my head, but the 2002 haunted castle building that has a vampire that pops out. It's the same deal of hot glue sort of securing the hatch, and you have to pry it off and then twist it and feed it in diagonally in order to open the building. And the bottom is hot glue / heat resin also. And you can see with the older building, it's secured primarily with heat resin, whereas the newer one is hot glue. So it's just interesting to see how these are technically the same building, but they're from different years. So who knows what sort of production year run they were, but they're slightly different. So yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other little tidbits. Obviously, if the witch hanging clothes and flying around, if those aren't working, that's a pretty simple issue. That's not that hard to worry about. You might want to try and change the drive belt here, because sometimes these can get all stretched out. And you can get a hair rubber band, or there's a few different things you can get, but usually it's not that hard. You just need to change this little rubber band out. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to be doing some soldering work though, because the newer computer chip only has one plug for the motor and the lights, so I'm going to have to solder the motor wires onto the lighting plug and then plug it in with just one, which is fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this back together and put it back in, and it'll be done. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this piece or have any specific things you're wondering about, just let me know. Yeah, as far as this gearbox, it can get dried up, and I've done videos in the past also. You just need to pull a motor out and usually put some oil in there, Vaseline, something, grease it, and then put it back in, and it'll work. Unless, again, the main motor's dead, or the main computer board is fried. So anyway, thank you for watching, and be sure to check out the other videos on my channel.